So hello guys, now we're going to do a chapter 8 tutorial and let's go. So first, subnetting IP address, IP networks. So designing and implementing the managing effective IP address plans ensure that network address can operate effectively and efficiently. This is true as the number of host connection to a network increase. Understanding the hierarchical structure of the IP address and how to modify that hierarchy in order to more efficiently meet up routing requirement is an important part of planning an IP address scheme. So, in the original IPv4 address, there are two levels of hierarchy. A network and a host. These are two levels of addressing allow for basic network groupings that facilitate routing packets to destination network. A router forwards packets based on the network portion of an IP address. When the network is located, the host portion of the IP address allows the identifications of the destination service. However, as the network grows with many organizations adding hundreds and even thousands of hosts to their network, the two-level hierarchy is insufficient. So the next one is subnetting an IPv4 network. So it composed of network segmentation, subnetting a network IPv4 network, subnetting 16 and 8 prefix, and subnetting a to meet the requirement. So first, network segmentation. So network segmentation, it has broadcast domains, problems with large broadcast domains, and reason for subnetting. So broadcast domains in an Ethernet LAN devices use broadcast to locate other services or other devices. Devices uses address resolution protocol (ARP), which sends layer 2 broadcast to a known IPv4 address, and services. A host typically acquires a IPv4 address configuration using the dynamic host configuration protocol. DHCP sends broadcast on local network to locate a DHCP server. So the next one is problem with large broadcast domains. So a large broadcast domain is a network that connects many hosts. The problem with a large broadcast is this host can generate excessive broadcast and negative effect in the network. So it slows the network operations due to significant amount of traffic in can all cause slow device operation because a device must accept and process each broadcast packet. So the solution is to reduce the size of the network to create smaller broadcast domains in a process called subnetting. These smaller network spaces are called subnets. In note, the term subnet and network are often used interchangeably. Most networks are subnet of some larger address block. So the next one is the subnetting an IPv4 network. So it have the octet boundaries. Subnetting on the octet boundaries, classes subnetting, video demonstration. There are there are also video demonstration of the subnet mask in the chapter 8. So guys, hope you type read more and the chapter 8. So the next one what we're going to talk about is the next one that we're going to talk about is subnetting a 16 and a prefix. So guys, creating a subnet with a 16 prefix in a situation requiring a larger number of subnets, an IPv4 network is required to have more host bits to borrow from. For example, the network's address is 172.16.00 has a default mask of 255.255, or prefix this address has 16 bits in the network portion and 16 bits borrow for creating subnets. So the table in the figure highlights for the possible scenarios for subnetting a 16 prefix. So there are also subnetting to meet the requirements. The requirements is subnetting based on host requirements, subnetting based on network requirements also. It have also network requirement example. So the example of network requirement is that network administrator must devise the device addressing scheme to accommodate the maximum number of hosts for each network and the number of subnets. The addressing scheme should allow for growth in both the number of hosts addressed per subnet and the total number of subnet. In this example, corporate headquarters has allocated a private network of 172.16.00, prefix is 22, 10 host bits to a branch of location as shown on the activity. So the topology for the branch location. So that is all the network requirement example. So the topic concludes with 4 activities to practice subnet. So next one is the benefits of variable length subnet and masking. So there are traditional subnetting ways, addresses, variable length subnet mask, basic VLSM, with VLSM practice. So what is a VLSM? So guys, VLSM in all of previous example of subnetting, notice that subnet mask has to apply of all the subnets. This means that each subnet has the same number of available and host address. So VLSM, the subnetting is similar to traditional subnetting in that bits are borrowed to create subnets. The formulas to calculate the number of hosts per subnet and the number of subnets created still apply. So the difference of the subnetting is not a single pass activity. With VLSM, the network is first subnetted and then the subnets are subnetted again. This process can be repeated multiple times to create subnets of various sizes. So that is the VLSM. So the next one we're going to talk about is addressing schemes. So addressing schemes have a structured design. So under of the structural designs is that under structural design is network address planning, planning to address the network, assigning address to the devices, and packet tracer designing, implement tracing a VLSM address scheme. So first, network addressing planning. So this is what I will talk to you about. So planning a network subnet requires examination of both needs of an organization, network usage, and how the subnets will be structured. Performing a network requirement study is the starting point. This means looking at the entire network and determining the main section of the network and how they will be segmented. The address plan includes determining the needs of each other in terms of size and how many hosts per subnet, how host addresses will be assigned, and which host will be required a static IPv4 address and which host can be used DHCP for obtaining the address information. So this is all about network address planning. So as I said earlier, there are planning network address and assigning address to the devices. And the next one is that design consideration for IPv6. So first it has subnetting on IPv6. So the IPv6 global unicast address. So guys, IPv6 subnetting requires different approach from the IPv4 subnetting. The same reason for IPv4 address space in order to manage network traffic also apply IPv6. However, due to the large number of IPv6 address, there is no longer concern for conserving address. The IPv6 address plan can focus on the best hierarchy approach to manage and assign IPv6 subnets. Prefer to figure for a quick review of a structure of an IPv6 global unicast address. So that is all about IPv6 global unicast address. The next under it is also subnetting using the subnet ID and IPv6 subnet allocation. So guys, the next is uh, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you learned more about chapter 8 subnetting IP networks. Again, I am Mathew Javier and that is all and thank you.